That's right, getting here on a Thursday, everybody. August 20th, Jamie Erdahl, Manti Te'o in Los Angeles. Kyle Brandt at home. KB, preseason football, you know KB's ready when he's doing this. This is like his, I'm ready to observe. Anger, let's go. What are your thoughts about the games tonight, Kyle? Let's go.
This one's got some juice. Raiders and primetime Texans. Like I said this earlier in the week after the Raiders' first preseason game. If Fernando Mendoza goes again and goes off and looks the part and there's going to be a conversation Friday morning. And I don't know if the Raiders even want that. But if he goes off tonight, we will be talking about to start the show in this exact slot and segment tomorrow morning, I promise.
I can't wait. I actually would love to see a debate go down between KB and Tom Brady, because I'm sure TB has a philosophical opinion as to how they're supposed to make that decision about the Raiders. Bring it, Tom. Put him tete-a-tete. Put him in a meeting room and let's try to get here, all right? QB1 for the Raiders. That game is tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. News, though, emerged yesterday from Tampa Bay as we welcome in Ian Rappaport, our NFL insider, with us this morning. Rap Sheet, Todd Bowles and company got some fantastic news, at least on the defensive front, and that is involving Vita Vea. What is the latest?
Well, the biggest news for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is that Vita Vea will be back on the field. Hold in over, trade request withdrawn. Vita Vea has gotten paid. He gets a 1-year, $30 million extension, according to colleague Adam Schefter. He gets a deal that is fully guaranteed, as Mike Garafolo added last night. As far as the particulars of this, remember, he was on the books for $18 million for this year, vastly underpaid for the type of defensive lineman that he is and the impact he makes. So he gets $6 million up front. And the balance of that is paid next year, so basically $24 million this year, and then the rest next year. Vita Vea now locked in. And for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have done an excellent job of retaining their best players, keeping them for years and years, whether it's Mike Evans for years or whether it's Chris Godwin, or you could go on and on, Levante David, on and on. They now keep another player like Vita Vea in the fold. This is a big-time deal for Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the NFL, there was some injury situations that we are keeping an eye on. For the Philadelphia Eagles, one of their big trades of this offseason was acquiring Jonathan Grenard, the edge standout from the Minnesota Vikings, also signed a big contract extension. He has not yet practiced for the Eagles, and while Howie Roseman said at the start of camp this was really not a big deal, not a long-term injury, still could cause Grenard to miss the start of the year. This pectoral injury that he suffered while lifting weights before the season. Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator, acknowledged recently that, yes, he could miss the start of the season, obviously one to keep an eye on.
All right, Rap Sheet, thank you. He's been so good everywhere he's gone, between the Texans, the Vikings, and now the Eagles. They'll want him back in the regular season, of course, but we're still in the preseason, and Eagles-Patriots have wrapped up the first of 2 scheduled joint practices. Yesterday, as A.J. Brown squared off against his former team, it was a sight for sore eyes. People were, I'm sure, descending upon the New England Patriots organization and their facility to make sure they got all eyes on this. And our guy, Sal Paolantonio, who came on GMFB yesterday, loved to see him, Sal Pal. He caught up with the wide receiver to discuss the transition from Philly to Foxborough. Here's a clip.
You wanted to come here to be reunited with Mike. Why?
Just because of the way he pushes me, the way he pushes me, and the belief system. That's something that you can't really describe, but you know that I have the support of him.
And what do you think of your quarterback? You're spending a lot of time with Drake May.
Yeah.
What do you think so far of his approach?
Drake?
Of Drake.
Man, he's a true leader. He's a true leader, man.
How so?
He's young, man, and he's always watching tape. He's always trying to get better. We're sitting talking about the defenses and what you like and how you see the game, and we're trying to see it at the same time. That's the biggest hurdle right now. Obviously, when we sit down and we talk in the meetings, it's easy. But when we out there and the bullets flying, we need to think it at the same time, and that's where we're getting to. And we've done good. We have done good sometimes, and we miss the mark sometimes as well, and that's expected. Because we still learn each other and we're still trying to keep this thing going.
So many fans at that joint practice because they wanted to see what they just saw from A.J. Brown coming off the line of scrimmage. He gone. These 2 teams will square off Saturday in Foxborough at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on NFL Network. A lot of storylines, of course, between these 2 teams individually, but also going up against each other. What has been your biggest takeaway from Manti observing what's come out of the joint practices?
My biggest takeaway is my observation of A.J. Brown and just his maturity, and to see how calm he was. What they didn't show was there was a clip yesterday of him coming out of the building and running through the Eagles practice. He didn't go to any of his old teammates. He didn't start yapping at any old teammates. He just went out there and was just locked in. He wasn't reactive. And when I think about how A.J. Brown seems right now, it reminds me of when I was little. I grew up, my grandfather, he raised dogs, and this is where my love of dogs came in. One thing I always noticed about my grandfather is his dogs were always calm around him. Like my grandfather never had to have a leash on them. He never had to yell at them. They just were always at his side and they obeyed him. But then when I grabbed the dog and I had the dog on the leash, the dog would pull me around like I was on some sled. And I remember my grandfather said, you have to be confident, because if the dog doesn't trust you that you're in charge, he's going to take over. And I'm not saying that Nick Sirianni was somebody that A.J. Brown felt like he could bully around and push around, but now he has somebody that has the leash named Mike Vrabel that he trusts, like, Coach, got this. I don't have to do anything or be anything that doesn't help the team, that does not help my football team. And now he's dialed in. He's calm. He's more mature. He seems like somebody that, when needed and when called upon, can be lethal. And that is what really stood out to me, was on that first play of one-on-ones going against Quinion Mitchell. Take him over the top. What a perfect pass it was. He dropped it. He didn't jump up, slap his helmet, get mad or riled up. He just got back up, ran back to the sideline, and got back for the next rep. I love what I saw out of A.J. Brown so far, KB. If he keeps it up, he will be a lethal weapon for the New England Patriots.
I just got nervous when we started hearing about raising dogs. And somebody gets bitten. I just thought that story didn't end well. And thank God, Manti, you landed the plane. I got very nervous with these young dogs and young Manti playing with them. But here we are. Everything's okay. I don't want to, on the island, like, things are different a little bit. I just want to make sure that story was going to be wholesome. And it sounds like it was. All right. So the other thing that Sal Paolantonio said about being at practice is that A.J. Brown was today, for both teams, Patriots and Eagles, by far the best wide receiver on the field. And it started me thinking about, is it possible that we have just this outlandishly massive season from A.J. Brown here? I'm talking like some crazy 1,600-yard season. The only reason I ask is, like, look at A.J.'s quarterbacks in his career. He's had Marcus Mariota, and these are great football guys with great careers. Ryan Tannehill. He had Jalen Hurts for a long time, and Jalen's an incredible player, but the way Jalen plays and the Eagles are set up, it's never going to lead to, like, astronomical receiving statistics or anything like that. Even if you go back to Ole Miss, AJ never had, like, a quarterback who became this NFL starter. It's just, that's not what he had. I don't think he's ever been given a quarterback with Drake May, and what I mean by that is Drake May finished second MVP voting in the second year. He finished second to Matthew Stafford by one first-place vote. I don't know if we've ever seen A.J. Brown with a quarterback of this talent, of this potential ceiling. So in a lot of ways, it's almost like, have we ever really seen A.J. Brown? And I'm talking about going back to high school. That's really exciting. And despite all that, and despite him being the best receiver on the field and standing out against his old team, he had to face the media afterwards, and not just the media, specifically the Philadelphia media, and you know what they wanted to talk about.
Philly, man, y'all tough, man. Man, it's love. Listen. I honestly, guys, none of that stuff even matters. Yeah, I think you all should want to report something positive. Asking the question is going to turn negative. So let's not get into that. Let's keep everything positive. It's love my way, and just move forward. That's all. It's not about no closure or anything, man. It's love. I won a Super Bowl ring with them. And it's always be love, no matter how anyone feels. I love Philly, and I will always love Philly.